outside, so the goodness and mercy gon' follow me when I step. So I step lively, keep flame like wasabi. You can find me in the presence right beside us. Walking on water, nature drip. You ain't never seen nothing like this shit. Everybody with me gon' make it, yeah. Bow your head, let's say a prayer. Don't we need your direction? Give us eyes to see and ears to listen. You know this world we live in crazy, so protect us. Continue to bless us so we can be a blessing. Hey, amen. Gotta focus.
You can hear me? Glory. The improviser. That's so funny.
Let's get it. Make sure everybody in the gang should have fish. We will not settle up for no change when he build. You
What?
don't need no handouts when you handling business. I gotta go hard, I can't afford to take no days off. Trust in the Lord, I know that he gon' make a way out of no way. For me, I ain't going outside, so the goodness and mercy gon' follow me when I step. So I step lively, keep flame like wasabi. You can find me in the presence outside. Walking on water, nature drip. You ain't never seen nothing like this shit. Everybody with me gon' make it, yeah. Bow your head,
Yep. Yeah.
give us eyes to see and ears to listen. You know this world we live in crazy, so protect us. Continue to bless us so we can be a blessing. Amen. Yeah. I'm in my bag, yeah, coming through these blessings, got the devil mad. If he try me, he gon' end up in the body bag. God on my side, dog, so I ain't gotta brag. Yeah, you know my faith don't beast mode. Yeah, praises going up, we seeing overflow. And when this seems to be no way, my God gon' open doors. I ain't thinking about it.
We out here, y'all.
Don't get how you feel, don't get how you feel.
We out here. What's up, family? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Monday that the Lord has made. The Monday that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. If you could please be so kind to hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the tag. Tag Lolly Dolly everybody. Let them know Prophet Ramone is live. It's Monday. Monday is actually one of my favorite days of the week. I know a lot of people feel some kind of way about Mondays, but I love Mondays. As a matter of fact, very quickly, for those of you that are coming on, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, LinkedIn, or if you're on Mars, very quickly, I want somebody to drop in the comments, what is your favorite day of the week? And don't use Sunday, because I already know if you're a churchgoer, Sunday might be your favorite day of the week. Outside of church, what is your favorite day of the week? What is your favorite day of the week? I want to know what your favorite day of the week is. Outside of church and date night for me and my wife, Monday is my favorite day of the week. Okay, yours is Friday. All right. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, LinkedIn, Mars. What is your favorite day of the week? Lula said Friday. Facebook. Friday. Friday. You know why? You know why? I'm going to tell you why.
Why is Friday?
I'm going to tell you why. I'm finna really mess y'all up with this one.
I bet you.
I'm finna tell you why.
Everybody said, look, everybody saying Friday. Oh,
Mika, she say Friday.
Oh, that's weird.
Shamika say Wednesday.
That's weird.
Wednesday, okay. Wednesday. I'm the only Monday?
Yes, man.
Wow. I can't believe I'm the only Monday. I ain't got no Mondays out there. I can't hear nobody.
Ursula said Wednesday. They must get paid on Wednesday.
Ursula said Wednesday on Facebook. I mean, I ain't got no Mondays into his house. She said because it starts the weekend.
Will O'Neill say Friday because he said I get to pay my officers.
Okay, Friday, you get to pay your officers.
Yeah, Will O'Neill.
Will on YouTube?
Yeah.
Will, he says Friday.
Yeah. Friday's gonna win.
Okay, so Fridays are winning, huh?
Yes.
My favorite day is Monday, okay? We got a few Wednesdays, and then everybody else is Friday. Everybody else is Friday. Shout out to all of you Friday lovers. But today is Monday, so you got to deal with us Monday winners, okay? We Monday people. I don't have no Monday supporters, but I'm an entrepreneur though. I'm not familiar with the workforce, so most people who work Monday through Friday like the Fridays because of the weekend. When you're in the workforce, when you're an entrepreneur, most entrepreneurs love Monday because it starts a new week. It's a new opportunity to grind. It's new money, baby. We get new bags. Think about that. Think about that. So I love Mondays. I love Mondays. I mean, I love Sundays because of church. See there? Meek said Friday because it ends her work week and it starts her weekend.
You just said that, yeah.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, because most people who work Monday through Friday, they want their weekend off. So
why is your Mondays? You explained it to him now because Will asked why.
Yeah, Mondays are my favorite days because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, and I don't have a Monday through Friday work week. I've never had a Monday through Friday job. So I've always been an entrepreneur pretty much all of my adult life. And so Mondays are typically the days that you get to start a new week, you get to find new money, you get to set out for what you want to accomplish for the week, you get to count your profits and your losses from last week. So Monday is a big deal.
He said, I see your point.
Monday is a big deal. Like for most people who own businesses, Monday is the day that we have a good idea of what last week was, and we know exactly what our targets are, and we just ready to hit the ground. I love Mondays. I'm telling y'all.
He said, I see your point.
I love Mondays. I love Mondays. I love Mondays. So anyway, this is the Monday, y'all, that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. And guess what? Today, I'm going to talk about 3 reasons to start a holding company. 3 reasons to start a holding company. Now listen, whether you are a W-2 employee, whether you are a 1099 independent contractor, or even if you are a legitimate EIN business owner or 501c3 ministry or nonprofit executive, wherever you are on the economic spectrum of W-2, 1099, EIN, I want to give you 3 reasons to start a holding company. So for those of you who work on a job, but you have business aspirations, you have ideas for starting a business, but you might just not know where to start or how to start, or you might not even have no ideas, you just know you need to get out of the rat race of a 9-to-5 or a 40-hour work week job, then for you, starting a business, particularly a holding company, is going to be ideal. I recommend every family to have at least one holding company, and I'll explain to you why. But if you are a W-2 employee, whether you have products, ideas, services, or anything to sell or not, you still want to, and I'm going to show you 3 reasons why you should start a holding company. If you are a 1099 independent contractor, real estate agent, insurance agent, freelancer, a solopreneur, small business owner without having a EIN number, a network marketer, you're a 1099. I'm gonna show you 3 reasons to start a holding company. If you own a company already, or if you own a nonprofit organization, or if you're already in business but you don't have your business system structured like a holding company, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons to start a holding company. For all of you who do not have access to our world-class business blueprint, which is what you see on the screen behind me, this is our online virtual educational training platform where we teach everything from financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, investments, and wealth building. It's an all-in-one ultimate online virtual educational training platform to teach you all things that you need to learn, or at least the most important aspects of financial literacy, entrepreneurship, investments, family legacy, wealth building, and what I'm talking about today, which is starting a holding company. We have an entire section in our blueprint game plan to teach you about entrepreneurship, what an entrepreneur is, how entrepreneurship works, how to start and structure and even scale a holding company. So today I'm gonna give you 3 reasons to start a holding company. If you ever thought about starting a business, if you started a business and you just flopped in the business, or if you're working on a job and you just don't even see the value of having a business, I think these 3 reasons to start a holding company are gonna help you. So shout out to all of you on Facebook, all of my Facebook tribe members, family members, I love y'all. All of my YouTube tribe members, family members, thank y'all so much. YouTube has been banging. For those of you that are not on YouTube, they've been banging over there. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. I mean, almost every day we get emails, we get phone calls, we get text messages from people who found us on YouTube, whether they Google searched us or whether they are just browsing the internet or whether they just binge watching content on YouTube, and as a result, they ran across one of our videos teaching on financial literacy, or more specifically about a holding company. Ain't that right? Like most people who respond from YouTube, they find out information about a holding company and they reach out. So here are 3 reasons to start a holding company. Reason number 1. The first reason why you should start a holding company is, somebody dropped this in the comments, to minimize liability. This is the first reason why you should start a holding company, to minimize your liability. Somebody write that down. To minimize liability. This is the first reason why you should start a holding company, to minimize liability. If you have any questions while I'm going through these 3 reasons, feel free to drop the questions in the comments, all right? If you got a question about business, if you got a question about entrepreneurship, if you got a question about a holding company, drop the question in the comments, all right? The first reason to start a holding company is to minimize liability, to minimize liability. Now again, if you are a W-2 employee, this still works for you. See, that's what a lot of people who work on jobs don't understand. You can leverage working on that job by connecting what you do on that job with owning a business. But the kind of business you own, and I'm not talking about in terms of a legal entity like a LLC, a S Corp, or a C Corp. When I say the kind of business, I'm talking about the concept, like what kind of business are you structuring? Are you structuring your business like a holding company? Or are you just structuring it as another legal entity that you're just doing 1 or 2 or a few things through it? So the first reason to start a holding company is to minimize liability. What do you mean by minimizing liability? Well, first of all, if you work on a job and you're a W-2 employee, you're paying more taxes than you should. 8 out of 10 employees pay too much in income taxes. We're talking about federal income taxes. But a lot of times, even if you know how to revisit your W-4 form to minimize your tax liability, if you don't have a business connected to it or some type of side hustle connected to it, you can't justify why you're not paying income taxes, which means when you get around to tax time the following year, you have a tax liability. Why do you have a tax liability? Because you didn't know anything about owning a business. So you didn't have any deductions, you didn't have any write-offs, you didn't have the game on how to play that card correctly with what you did in terms of minimizing your taxes. So when you think about minimizing liability, one of the liabilities that you're going to minimize when you start a holding company is your tax liability. So you can minimize your tax liability on your job, number one, if you're working on a job, because you're going to connect that business to your job by offsetting paying taxes and using your business as the reason why you're not paying federal income taxes on your job, because you're moving that money over to your business to have working capital. So that's a tax liability that you're going to minimize. If you are in business and you have a holding company, there are so many. You got a question? Mm-hmm. What's the question?
Okay, so
I feel fire coming out my head right now. I'm dropping these bombs on y'all today.
This is on YouTube, Jose.
Okay.
He said, I'm a, Forex trader.
Yeah.
And I want to open a holding company because I want to invest in a few business firms.
Okay.
Tech and clothing brands.
Yeah.
My question for you is that, what's the best way to approach it?
What's the best way to approach it? To start your holding company. And you could do that by reaching out to us. We got all the information for you on how you can start it. And I walk you through the process on our platform to show you how to go to your state, Secretary of State, how to file the articles of organization, because that's what you're going to do. That's going to be the first thing you do. The first thing you're going to do is, I hope, get the blueprint game plan, go on there, watch the video modules on how to start your holding company, and then you're going to go to the Secretary of State. And when you get to your Secretary of State, you're going to file your articles of organization for your LLC, but you're going to specifically categorize that LLC as a holding company, okay? Once you file the paperwork, you get your EIN number. I have all the videos to show you how to get your EIN number. You get your Secretary of State articles of organization, and now you are a legitimate holding company owner. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start an operating company under it, which means LLC number 2 will be owned by LLC number 1, which is the holding company. So you're going to be the owner of the first company because that's your holding company. But let's say the Forex trading operation is going to be owned by the holding company. And then your apparel company, you're going to start LLC number 3. That's going to be company number 3 owned by company number 1. And you're going to just keep stacking those operational companies under there. So it starts by you starting that first company. But a lot of times you have to get the education first. This is what a lot of people try to skip. Even if you go to somebody and they file the paperwork for you, if you don't know how to run it like what I'm explaining to you, then that means you're not educated on how to run the day-to-day operations of a holding company. So if you need that information, we have a blueprint game plan. It is our ultimate all-in-one blueprint game plan, and in it is all the information, all the training videos, all the walkthrough tutorials to show you not just how to start and structure your holding company, but we also have an entire financial literacy program so that you can learn how to do what I'm talking about doing here, which is to minimize your liabilities. So I hope I answered that question for you. But that's the first reason to start a holding company, minimize liability. So on your job, if you're a W-2 employee, you're going to use your business to minimize your tax liability on your job, which means you're going to make sure that you're not allowing federal income taxes to be taken out. Why? Because you're pushing that extra cash flow over to your business, and you're going to write off certain business deductions. So that's another liability that you're going to minimize, because you're going to write off a lot of your expenses because you have a business. See, there are a lot of expenses you got right now that could be a business expense if you had a business. But they're not business expenses because you ain't got no business. So it could be your phone bill. It could be the gas mileage on your car. It could be the gas you put in your car. It could be a lot of the meals that you eat when you go out to eat. It could be certain products that you purchase, like your computer or certain internet products that you buy or software. As a matter of fact, buying a blueprint game plan is a tax write-off for your business, because this is a part of your continuing education. This is a part of a program that you need to scale your business. So if you don't have a business, a lot of the bills that you're paying anyway, you could be using them as legitimate tax deductions, which means you're going to cover the first of the 3 reasons to start a holding company, which is to minimize your liability. If you have a home, if you start a business, you can use your apartment or your house and allocate a certain amount of space for your home office, which means a portion of your total bills every month can be pushed towards a deduction as an expense for your business. So a lot of times, even when you ain't really making a whole lot of money on your business, you losing a lot of money for not having a business. And that's going to be a conversation for another time. But the first reason to start a holding company is to minimize liability. So your tax liability is one of the biggest liabilities you have, whether you're working on a job or whether you are 1099 independent contractor, or whether you are a business owner or organizational leader, or whether you all 3. You have a liability in terms of taxes that you want to minimize, and having a holding company helps you to minimize it. Another creative minimization of liability for your taxes by holding a holding company is seen when, let's say, if you have a holding company, and let's say you over here with one business, and that business is banging out and making a lot of money. Well, if you don't have a holding company set up and structured, then all you trying to do is figure out how can I, pay less taxes with the money I'm making through my business. Well, if you have a holding company, you can always push that money up to your holding company outside of that one business that your holding company owns, and you can reallocate that money. I'm talking about the pre-tax income. You can reallocate it to another business that your holding company owns. So your holding company controls the revenue, the income of all these other entities that you own, which gives you a minimization of liability. Also, one of the other liabilities that you minimize by having a holding company is your legal and lawsuit liabilities. Like, for example, if you have a holding company, this is LLC number 1, and then your holding company owns another company, LLC number 2, but it is owned by LLC number 1. Well, the liability of LLC number 1 is only on LLC number 2 is only on LLC number 2. So a lot of times your holding company protects your intellectual property. So let's say if my holding company owns the copyrights to my books, right? Okay, well, I can have a publishing company owned by my holding company, but I'm not going to let my publishing company own the copyrights of my published books. So my holding company will own the intellectual property of my copyrights, but my publishing company will be the operation company to distribute and to publish and to produce the books, but they don't necessarily own the intellectual assets. So that's liability protection for my intellectual property. So if anything ever happens to my publishing company, guess what? My intellectual assets and my copyrights are not liable. They're not exposed because they're not owned by that operation. That was for free. First reason to start a holding company is to minimize your liability. I hope y'all caught that. Second reason to start a holding company is, somebody put this in the comments, to maximize flexibility. To maximize flexibility. This is the second reason to start a holding company. You want to maximize your flexibility. Now, this is a big deal. Clichea, Brees, yes, it will replay on Facebook, and it will be on YouTube and Twitch, Periscope, Twitter. They will all be available for you whenever you get off to come back and rewatch it. So the second reason to start a holding company is what? Maximize flexibility. What you mean, dog, by maximizing flexibility? Well, I think I explained minimizing liability. So how do you maximize flexibility? Well, you have a lot of ways that you can maximize your flexibility. Number one, let me show you how this works with maximizing your flexibility. You're not bottlenecked in one industry. You're not bottlenecked in one vehicle. Like, for example, if you're in the apparel business, okay, let's say you got an idea to sell t-shirts, or you got a brand like the Next Level shirt and hoodie brand and cap brand that I have. Let's say if you got an apparel business. How do you maximize flexibility through your holding company? Well, if you just start an apparel business, then your business, although it's a legitimate business, it is industry specific. So now all you're doing is apparel. So are you gonna put your coaching business, if you become a coach, in your apparel business? No. Are you gonna put consulting, if you become a consultant, in your apparel business? No. Are you gonna put you get a real estate license and become a real estate agent, you're gonna put your real estate business in an apparel business? It don't even sound right. It don't even make sense. Oh, I own an apparel business, but also under my apparel business, I do real estate. Also under my apparel business, I do life coaching. It don't make sense. So to maximize your flexibility, you create a holding company, and your holding company is gonna own 100% interest in an apparel business. It's gonna own 100% interest in a coaching business. It's gonna own 100% interest in a real estate business. So what did you just do? You just maximized flexibility because you got one company owning 3 companies that you doing. Otherwise, you're gonna start company A, industry specific, then you're gonna get bored after about a year, and then you're gonna be like, I got another business idea. And you around here with like, listen, you don't need 7 or 8 or 9 or 5 different businesses, not independently owned by you. Because number one, you broke the first rule, which is to minimize liability. If you got 5 different businesses and you're the owner of all 5, you are liable for 5 businesses. That's not the game, family. That's not the game. That ain't what wealthy people do. That ain't what millionaires do. That ain't what people who understand the game do. What they do, instead of owning 5 businesses themselves, they own one business holding company, and they let that one company own the other 4. Now you have a conglomerate. Now you have minimized liability, that's reason number 1, and you have maximized flexibility, that's reason number 2. If I'm making sense, somebody drop something in the comments and let your boy know. You dropping game profit on this Monday. I see why Monday is your favorite day, because you show up lit with the coffee on deck. With that coffee on deck. And this ain't my second cup. I had 1 cup. I just pour half of it out, fill it up with ice, and then I drink that, and then I fill the other half up. YouTube.
YouTube is good.
Facebook. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, Facebook.
Twitch, Periscope, Twitter. If you on Mars,
Awesome content. I'm learning so much.
if you on Neptune, do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? This is why you need a holding company. And listen, y'all, if you are a part of the Black faith community, now I'm half white, so I could talk about both sides. But if you are a part of the Black faith community, your family should own a holding company, even if you don't have an idea yet, even if you don't have a product and service. If for nothing else, you're gonna own it to minimize the liability while you're working on your job, because you're probably paying too much in taxes. You're gonna use this to maximize flexibility, right? So at least you have a foundation so that when you do get an idea, guess what? You know how to push that idea forward because you have the flexibility, you have the wiggle room, you're not bottlenecked. That's why some people start a business over here. They start the apparel business. They start the shoe repair business. They start the photography business. They start the freelance publishing business. They start the clothing business. They start the nail business, the hair business, and then in 6 months or 6 years, guess what happens? They bottleneck, they get bored, and then they leave that business and start business number 2. And guess what? They miss out on everything that they built over here. But if they would have had a holding company and they would have dropped that apparel business, that nail business, that hair business, that photography business under the holding company, even if that business, died out or faded out, they still have the credibility of what they did try under their holding company. That's the flexibility that you have. Reason number 3 to start a holding company is to mobilize creativity. Mobilize creativity. This is the third reason why you should start a holding company. To mobilize creativity. What do you mean by mobilize creativity? Well, your creativity, catch this, is connected to your commitment. Your creativity is connected to your commitment. I hope that makes sense. Your creativity is connected to your commitment. So when you lack creativity in a certain area, a lot of times it's because you lack commitment in a certain area. So what happens is when you don't have a holding company set up, but you want to be a business owner, you got some type of entrepreneur gene, you want to create a side hustle, what happens is your creativity for that thing is extinguished. It is suffocated because you have not built a system to play with that idea, right? Have you ever had an idea that came to your mind, and when that idea came to your mind, after about a day or two, or maybe just a few minutes of thinking about it, you was like, you know what? I'll just write it down. I'll just put it in my notes, but I don't think, I might just be crazy. Well, if you had a holding company set up and that idea came, and you were educated about how to operate a holding company and how to use that for the liability of minimization of it, for the flexibility, the maximization of it, and for the creativity, the mobilization of it, you could have actually took that idea and you could have created a research and development division under your company. And you could have allocated a certain amount of money and said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get a logo. I'm gonna go ahead and get a domain name. And I'm gonna just build something around this idea. And I'm gonna just create a pilot program for 30 days to see who's interested in this. If nobody responds to it, guess what? You keep it moving. It didn't affect nothing because you were able to mobilize your creativity because you had a business. And if you put $100 into that thing and lost it, that would have just been an expense for your business that you could have written off the following year, rather than, man, I just lost $80. Well, what did you lose $80? On this idea, and it didn't go nowhere. I still got the domain name. You know how many domain names I buy through my business? Every time I get a good idea, I go buy a domain name through my business. That's one of the first things that I do. I purchase the domain name if the domain name is available. And then I'll just start fleshing it out. I'll call Trustworthy, Tony and Vaughn. I'll say, let me get a flyer, or let me get a logo, or give me this, even if I don't use it, because I have a research and development division. I'm mobilizing my creativity. Am I making sense with that?
Yes.
I'm mobilizing my creativity. So now, some of you have some great skills. Some of you have some great gifts. Some of you have some great talents. You have some great abilities. But if you have a business system like what I'm talking about set up, you put yourself in a better position to mobilize the creativity because you have somewhere to play. It's just like if you had a boat. If you had a boat, but you didn't have nowhere to ride the boat. After a while, you're going to be looking at that boat, and that boat, which was a great idea for you to purchase, is going to become a liability. Because every time you pull up in that garage, you're looking at that boat. You know what? I'm just sick of this thing here. It's just in the way. I don't even use it no more. Now, because your creativity for it left. But when you first bought the boat, guess what you did? Or if it's a bicycle, or let's say if it's something you bought to bring home to work out with, or you found like one of those, what is it, the solar plexus things that you work out with? You bought it because when you first saw it, or you seen the commercial, you could see yourself on it. Yeah. But you didn't think about where you were gonna put it. And then when it got there and you start putting it together and you like, I just don't want this thing sitting in my living room every day because it doesn't fit in that space. This is the purpose of you having a holding company set up. So now you have space to put your idea. You got water to put your boat in. You got fishing poles sitting on the side of the house that you ain't never used and bait still on it from the last time you went fishing because you ain't got nowhere to fish. So get the lake first. Get a place that fits basically get somewhere that has the capacity to house all this stuff that you want. And the best place for that is a holding company. So 3 reasons to start a holding company. Number 1, minimize liability. Number 2, maximize flexibility. Number 3, mobilize creativity. If you are having an issue with any of those 3 things, whether you're on a job, whether you are 1099, or whether you have a business already, or all 3, if you're having an issue figuring out how you can use your business or business potential or your entrepreneurial hustle and that grit and grind that you got, if you're having a hard time trying to figure out how you can minimize liability, maximize flexibility, and mobilize creativity, if you're just having a hard time trying to figure out how can I bring this idea into reality, how can I make something out of what I got in my heart, I'm telling you what the difference is. The difference is you getting started building out a system or infrastructure that can house all these ideas, that can house all these skills, that can house all these talents that you have. And you need to start by getting the information. And once you start getting the information, you can build or start a holding company, and then you can start building out your own dreams. You can start building out your own future. So if you do not have access to our blueprint game plan, and you need access to it because you want to learn about a holding company, you want to learn how to start a holding company, you want to learn how to structure a holding company, you want to learn how to run a holding company. These are things that people who got businesses don't even know about. So there are a lot of people who don't even understand the concept of a holding company and how to start it, how to structure it, how to run it. If you need that information, feel free to text, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. All you got to do is text, I'm ready. We're making it real easy for you. Text, I'm ready to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. Don't text, I'm ready if you ain't ready. If you're ready to purchase a blueprint game plan, which means you're ready to learn how to run a holding company, you're ready to learn how to start a holding company with many other companies under it. Once you learn it, it's like riding a bike. It's like fishing. You learn it, you got it, but you got to learn it first. A lot of people go to experts and say, oh, start this company for me, start this business for me, but you don't know how to run what you just started. You don't know how to use what you just put together. You got to learn how to run it, how to use it, and then when you put it together, it makes sense to you. That's how it works. So if you need this blueprint game plan in your life, because you want to learn about the holding company, you want to learn about business, in our blueprint game plan, we have a whole entrepreneurs program. It's an entire program built to teach you about entrepreneurship, and we have a program to teach you about starting and structuring a holding company. We have a do-it-yourself business startup kit, which means I literally walk you through with the forms and with the video tutorials. I literally walk you through how to go get your EIN number, what you need to put in the sections to fill it out, get your EIN number. I walk you through the process of going to your Secretary of State and filing your articles of organization for your LLC, how to categorize it as a holding company so you could be legit. Then you take that information, you go to the bank, open up a business bank account, you got a holding company. Then you just repeat that process every time you get a business that you want to put under it that you want your holding company to own. We also have a financial literacy program in here to teach you about accounting, income and expense tracking. Those are the things that you need to learn to run your holding company. So it's complicated, but it's simple once you learn it. And I have made it simple. I've made it easier. It was complicated for me to figure all of it out. It took me a long time to figure it out. But once I got it, I put it together so it can make sense to me. So what I teach in these programs, I'm living because I understand it. And so now that I understand it, I can implement it and I can teach it and educate other people on it. You say you had a comment? Okay. Anybody have questions about a holding company? Drop it in the comments. If you got a comment, give me some feedback. Y'all know how these algorithms work? The algorithms work this way. You gotta hit like, you gotta share it, you gotta tag lolly dolly everybody, and you gotta give me some feedback. Even if you got negative feedback, I really want you to give me some feedback. If you're a hater, tell me you're a hater. But if you're a lover, let me know you love it and you appreciate it, and just give some feedback so other people, when they come on, they can see, oh, somebody actually listening to this dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't thirsty for attention on that level. I'm thirsty for attention for a different level. You know what I mean? I'm thirsty for attention because I want our products and services to be known, and I want people to see the value of what we have, and I want to help people. And we're doing that, but we want to do it on a bigger level. Yeah, Vaughn, I hear you. She said that blueprint is awesome, game changer. I told you it's awesome. Yes, you've told me that 1,000 times, so I appreciate you, boo. Love you, and thank y'all for y'all support. How many of y'all are on the $1,000 Blueprint Game Plan Challenge? If you have not signed up for our Blueprint Game Plan Challenge, please, sir, please, ma'am, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to RamonePreston.com. Let me pull it up while I'm talking to you. Do y'all see it behind me? RamonePreston.com/challenge. Siobhan, I love you too. Go ahead on somewhere, girl. I'm working. /challenge. RamonePreston.com. Y'all see it? RamonePreston.com/challenge. We got 58 days remaining, y'all. You see it right here? Yeah. 58 days remaining. 6 hours, 15 minutes, 51 seconds. I want you to go to RamonePreston.com/challenge. The 90-day Blueprint $1,000 challenge is basically for you to save $1,000 within the first 90 days of 2021. That's by Wednesday, March the 31st. I want you to save $1,000 that you don't have to go back and borrow from. It's $1,000 you putting up. And this challenge is based on the 5 steps of our wealth building system. As you see, the Blueprint Game Plan is a 5-step wealth building system. So we have 5 steps that we use to really guide you through the wealth building process, or the financial freedom process, or the get out of debt process, or the I just want to be comfortable process, or the I'm just sick of not having money process. Whatever your process is, it's somewhere in between wealth building. So these 5 steps help walk you through and guide you and give you the points that you need to hit certain milestones, okay? And so with each step, we have corresponding courses that we recommend, things that you have to learn on our Blueprint Game Plan. But the 90-day challenge, is based on step 1. So if you have not joined our Blueprint Game Plan Challenge, please, sir, please, ma'am, please, family, go to RamonePreston.com/challenge. we're actually getting ready to reach out to everybody that's on our Blueprint Game Plan Challenge, because this is the beginning of month 2. So we want to do an update. And somebody just walked up to me yesterday and told me, oh, I got $750 of their $1,000. Yeah, I was like, wow. They was like, yeah, I want to give an update. I said, well, I'm going to be reaching out to y'all this week so we can. Wow. Whew. What's going on over here?
It's too much coffee.
I know.
Yeah, I did.
I'm here live and people steady calling through. I can't answer no phone on this live. I should have answered the phone.
Yeah.
That's what I should have did, huh?
Money.
Money?
Money.
No, that ain't no money calling.
Oh, that one. No. Anyway.
It ain't no money calling. Oh, you talking about M-O-N-E-Y?
Yes.
No, it ain't no money.
No.
If it's money, they not gonna be calling my personal cell phone.
Oh, it was the personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody calling my cell phone is probably family. And y'all know I don't answer no phone. Y'all know I hate answering the phone.
Well,
Period.
our TVs are on the way up.
Say what now?
Our TVs are on the way up.
Okay, good. They're on the way up.
Yeah.
This is so funny. Oh my God.
Our TVs.
All right, so I love y'all. We had an amazing day today.
Yeah, buy me some of that bread.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, please hit the bell. Hit the bell. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We need your support. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. If you enjoyed this lesson today, please make sure that you share it with somebody. You could just tag their name, drop their name in the comments, and give them an opportunity to hear these 3 reasons to starting a holding company. Tonight, y'all, at 6 o'clock, I'll be back on here for our show, the RP show, 6 o'clock live. So we're going to be back on here at 6 o'clock praying, prophesying, ministering to everyone who comes on. I have a prophetic word that I'll be sharing with you for a few minutes as well. And then tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon, we're going to continue this 12 o'clock noon, midday, noonday, lunchtime series that we've been doing. So join me tomorrow noon, and we're going to be going deeper into some discussions. Wow, discussions. I might need more coffee. Discussions.
See how come back?
Yeah, it do, right? Obedience. That's funny. Oh my God. I love y'all. I appreciate all y'all for coming on today. And what song was we playing before we ended it?
Oh, somebody asked who they was playing.
Oh, they asked who was playing.
Yes. I think it was Shamika. Somebody asked.
Go to RamonePreston.com/challenge to join the 90-day $1,000 challenge. If you need a blueprint game plan, if you need this in your life, text I'm ready to 404-478-7213. Hey, Papa baby boy. Where's Papa baby boy at? That's my baby boy, Papa baby boy, saying, hey, Papa. Papa baby boy. Papa baby boy, I love you, boy. Papa baby, and then I got Papa baby boy. Both of them got to be Papa baby because Tay wasn't having it. I love y'all. We out here in these internet streets. We out here in these internet streets today, y'all. We ain't thinking about them. Shantae, what's up, girl? Congratulations to you on that new business you just launched. Much success, many blessings. and lots of favor. All right, I love y'all. We'll see y'all tonight, 6 o'clock p.m. And be careful with that. And tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon.